What if the milk you've been pouring every morning is silently working against your health? After 60, some healthy milks can spike blood sugar, weaken bones, or even strain your kidneys, while others protect your heart, muscles, and memory. Most doctors never mention the difference, but new research makes it clear. Stay with me. Number 3 on the avoid list will surprise you. The truth is, many of us carry habits without questioning them. A carton of milk on the table has always felt safe, like bread or rice or tea, but the years bring with them new realities. Digestion slows, joints stiffen, fatigue lingers even after a night of sleep. Still, we reach for the same glass, believing it must help us. What if that very choice, the milk you trust each morning, was the reason behind the swelling in your knees, the heaviness in your belly, or the fog in your memory? Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, who lived past 100 and was known as one of Japan's most beloved doctors, used to remind people that vitality does not come from complicated treatments, but from simplicity. He avoided foods that were overly processed, even when they carried the label of healthy. For him, health was never about chasing the new. It was about choosing what kept the body light, clear, and steady. That wisdom is still alive, and it asks us to look closely at something as small as ordinary as a cup of milk. And there is another voice worth listening to. Dr. Andrew Weil, who spent his life studying what truly causes disease in our modern world. He says it is not age that weakens us. It is chronic inflammation, the fire that burns slowly inside, wearing down the joints, the blood vessels, the brain. Milk, when chosen carelessly, can fuel this fire. Milk, when chosen wisely, can quiet it. This is the dilemma we face. A simple food that can be medicine or poison, depending on which path we take. So let me ask you, is your milk lifting you up, or is it quietly pressing you down? Is it building your bones, or is it stealing the strength from your legs? Is it a companion to your independence, or a silent thief of your vitality? In this conversation, we will uncover truths that are rarely spoken. We will see the 4 milks that may be draining you without warning, and the 4 that can restore strength to your memory, resilience to your muscles, and comfort to your digestion. We will travel through wisdom from the blue zones, where centenarians still live with vitality, and we will look at what modern science has confirmed about something so deceptively simple. This is not about abandoning milk forever. It is about refining it, choosing with awareness, not habit, about turning a glass of milk from a daily routine into a daily act of self-care, one that keeps you moving forward with clarity and energy. Because after all, health does not come from grand miracles. It comes from the choices we make quietly, day after day. Now let us begin by looking at the first and perhaps most common mistake, the dairy that promises strength, yet often delivers only fatigue. For many people, milk has always been a symbol of vitality. It was poured into cups at breakfast, added to tea, or used to soften bread. Yet what once felt comforting can slowly turn into discomfort with age. After 60, the body begins to lose its ability to produce lactase, the enzyme that helps digest lactose, the natural sugar in cow's milk. Without this, each sip can bring bloating, heaviness, or a fatigue that seems to arrive for no reason at all. It is not a weakness of will. It is simply the way the body changes with time. The science confirms what many have felt in silence. More than half of older adults live with some degree of lactose intolerance. Instead of giving strength, the very milk they believe is protecting their bones can steal energy and prevent the absorption of calcium and other vital nutrients. Imagine swallowing something that promises nourishment, but instead leaves the stomach swollen and the body tired. It is like trying to water a plant with a liquid that looks clear, but slowly dries the roots. Across the world, in places where people live long and age with dignity, the choices around milk are very different. In Icaria, Greece, and Sardinia, Italy, 2 of the famous blue zones where many live beyond 90, people did not depend on industrial cow's milk. Instead, they turned to sheep and goat milk, which naturally contain less lactose and carry healthier fats. These milks nourished without punishing the stomach, offering omega-3s that calmed inflammation instead of fueling it. Their wisdom was simple. Choose what the body can welcome, not what it must struggle to tolerate. One way to follow this wisdom today is by embracing fermentation. Goat milk turned into kefir or sheep milk cheeses eaten in moderation provide nourishment that the body digests with ease. The living cultures in these foods also replenish the gut, strengthening the very system that weakens with age. A few servings each week can restore balance without the weight or bloating that often follows a glass of ordinary cow's milk. It helps to think of it like this. Drinking milk that your body can no longer process is like wearing shoes that no longer fit. At first, you endure the discomfort, but step after step, day after day, the strain leaves marks, blisters, and hidden pain. Choosing milk that fits your body today is not about giving something up. It is about finally walking without the ache, finally eating without the fatigue. This shift is not about losing tradition. It is about reclaiming the vitality that tradition once promised. And while digestion is the first signal that milk may no longer be serving you, it is not the only one. Beyond bloating and fatigue, there is another silent danger: hidden sugars disguised in the very milks that claim to be healthy. That is where our journey continues. There is a quiet danger hidden in many cartons that sit on supermarket shelves. Oat milk, almond milk, rice milk, drinks that many believe to be light, plant-based, and healthy. Yet behind their smooth taste often lies something that slowly wears down the body: added sugar. It does not always show in the first sip. It appears in the labels, where words like vanilla or original mask teaspoons of sweetness. In some cases, a single glass of these milks can carry more sugar than a can of soda. The body, especially after 60, feels the impact of these choices more deeply. Every spike in glucose is like a wave hitting the shore, eroding strength little by little. The blood vessels grow stiff. Fatigue lingers in the muscles. Legs feel heavier during a walk, not because of age itself, but because circulation is weakened. This quiet assault often hides behind what seems like an innocent glass of milk, poured into morning coffee or blended into oatmeal. If we look back at older traditions, the difference becomes clear. In the past, when people made plant-based drinks, they did not flood them with syrups or sweeteners. They prepared barley water, sesame blends, or lightly crushed nuts soaked in water. The taste was subtle, simple, natural. It carried nourishment without the burden of sugar. That ancient simplicity kept the body free from the highs and lows that modern versions create. There is still a way to honor that wisdom today. By choosing versions of plant milks without sugar, one can rediscover the original essence of these drinks. Natural spices like cinnamon or a touch of vanilla can bring flavor without stealing health. Reading labels carefully, looking not at the front of the package, but at the quiet truth written in the ingredients, makes all the difference. Because sweetness, when it hides in something that pretends to be nourishing, is one of the fastest paths to aging the body from within. It has been said, if a milk tastes like dessert, it is not milk, it is a disguise. And each time that disguise enters the body, it pushes us further from vitality and closer to fragility. The sweetness may please the tongue, but it robs the legs of strength and the heart of endurance. The story of milk is not just about sugar or digestion. There is yet another hidden risk, one that does not show in flavor but in what is missing. Many plant-based milks, even without sugar, fail to protect the bones that carry us each day, and this absence can be just as harmful as any excess. That is where we turn next. Bones are the silent pillars of our lives. They carry us through every step, every embrace, every small routine that gives meaning to a day. Yet as the years pass, those pillars lose density, and the risk of a simple fall becomes a threat to independence. Many turn to plant milks thinking they are making a healthier choice, unaware that some of these drinks arrive empty, without the calcium, vitamin D, or protein the body desperately needs to stay upright and resilient. A glass of almond or cashew milk may feel light and gentle, but when unfortified, it delivers little more than flavored water. The body, already struggling to maintain strength after 60, receives no reinforcement. Worse still, some of these milks carry hidden saboteurs. Oxalates, found in certain nuts, bind to minerals and prevent absorption. Carrageenan, used as a thickener, can irritate the gut and fuel inflammation. The very drink chosen for health can quietly weaken the system from the inside out. In places where longevity thrives, the approach has always been different. In Okinawa, Japan, elders did not rely on packaged nut milks. Instead, they prepared calcium-rich broths from fish bones, sesame-based drinks, or soups infused with seaweed. These were not marketed as alternatives, but as natural parts of daily life, carrying minerals that strengthened bones and nourished the body. The wisdom of their choices reminds us that strength comes not from empty promises, but from foods that truly fortify. Today, the path is not to abandon variety, but to choose with awareness. When selecting plant milks, fortified versions that provide at least 300 milligrams of calcium per cup can make the difference between fragility and resilience. Rotating options: sesame milk for its mineral richness, hemp for its balance of nutrients, soy for its complete protein, creates a foundation as solid as the bones they protect. Each cup becomes a quiet deposit into the savings account of the skeleton, preparing it for the decades ahead. Think of your bones as a lifelong treasure chest. Every day, what you put into your body is either a deposit or a withdrawal. Unfortified, empty milks withdraw from that account without you realizing it. Fortified, nourishing milks add to it, ensuring that the balance grows stronger, not weaker. It is a choice between filling your bones with emptiness or with lasting strength. And just as there are milks that harm, there are also milks that heal. Some carry the exact nutrients that support memory, digestion, and vitality all at once. These are not the enemies of aging, but its allies, quiet companions that walk with you toward independence. It is time to meet them. Amid the confusion of choices and the quiet risks that some milks carry, there are still those that truly nourish. They are not miracles, but they are steady allies. Gentle drinks that provide what the body now asks for most: strength for the muscles, clarity for the mind, and comfort for the gut. These milks do not burden, they restore. They are not indulgence, they are support. One of these is unsweetened hemp milk. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids and magnesium, it offers what joints often lack after years of wear: flexibility and ease. Its magnesium also acts like a lullaby for the nervous system, supporting sleep that arrives without struggle. Each sip becomes less about taste and more about a quiet rebuilding, easing stiffness while nurturing rest. Another stands out from centuries of tradition: goat milk kefir. Unlike ordinary dairy, it carries living cultures that feed the gut and restore balance. For those who have battled bloating, this milk offers relief without the inflammation that cow's milk can bring. Its natural nutrients strengthen immunity, support bone density, and give a sense of calm to digestion. It is more than a drink. It is a living food, alive with the same vitality it passes on to the one who drinks it. Fortified soy milk, though modern in appearance, carries ancient wisdom as well. Its proteins are complete, meaning they provide every building block the muscles and brain require. For aging bodies where muscle mass is fading and memory sometimes slips away, this completeness is not a detail, it is essential. Each cup becomes a defense against frailty, a quiet force that preserves clarity and independence. And then there is organic sesame milk, dense in calcium yet gentle on the kidneys. This milk echoes the wisdom of the Mediterranean and Asian kitchens, where sesame was always more than a seed. In milk form, it becomes a gift to the heart and bones, a richness that strengthens without heaviness. For those seeking both nourishment and simplicity, sesame milk is a quiet answer. Together, these four milks are not just alternatives, they are companions. They protect joints, sharpen the mind, and restore the strength needed to stand, to walk, to live with dignity. They are not sweet distractions nor empty promises. They are steady allies, silent guardians against fragility. But even allies need to be chosen with care. The real lesson is not to drink everything, but to drink with awareness. Because every cup, no matter how small, carries the power to move life forward or hold it back. And so we come to the final reflection: how to choose the milk that truly supports not just survival, but the joy of living. Not all milk is created equal, and after 60, this difference becomes more than a matter of taste. It becomes a matter of vitality. For many, milk is tied to childhood memories, to strength, to the image of bones growing solid and tall. Yet time has a way of revealing hidden truths. Some milks that once supported growth now quietly weaken digestion, inflame the joints, or strip away the minerals needed for balance. Others, gentler and wiser, can restore what age begins to take, supporting muscles, feeding memory, calming the gut. The choice between them is no longer casual. It is a choice that shapes how one wakes, how one walks, how one feels at the end of the day. Dr. Shigaki Hinohara, who lived past 100, believed that life was sustained not by medicines, but by awareness. He reminded people that every small decision mattered, even something as ordinary as a morning meal. In his view, food was not just fuel, but a companion that either lightened the body or weighed it down. His lesson still echoes. The difference between health and decline can be hidden in the very habits we repeat without question, and few habits are as deeply ingrained as the glass of milk poured into coffee or blended into porridge. Dr. Andrew Weil has often spoken of inflammation as the slow fire that consumes vitality. It does not appear in a single day. It builds quietly, stiffening the knees, fogging the mind, burdening the heart. Certain milks, especially when chosen without care, act like fuel to that fire. Others, rich in calming nutrients, act as water, soothing and protecting the body from within. This is not about miracle cures or rigid restrictions. It is about listening, noticing, and choosing with clarity. Imagine two different mornings. In one, the first sip of milk brings heaviness, bloating, and a fatigue that clings through the afternoon. The stomach feels unsettled, and the knees ache more with each step. In the other, the milk nourishes quietly. There is no swelling, no discomfort. The body feels lighter, steadier, more capable of moving through the day with ease. The difference is not magic. It is awareness of which cup you have lifted to your lips. There is comfort in knowing that choices still matter, that it is not too late to refine, to adjust, to give the body what it can truly welcome. Some may fear that changing milk means abandoning tradition, but in truth it means preserving what tradition once promised: strength, resilience, and life lived with dignity. When the right milk is chosen, it becomes more than a drink. It becomes a quiet act of self-respect, a way of saying that health is worth protecting. Milk should not be seen only as a symbol of comfort. It can be a tool, one that either sustains or undermines independence. With every cup, there is a chance to move forward, to nourish bones that still carry you, to protect a memory that still holds names and faces, to fuel muscles that still long for movement. The decision may seem small, but in its simplicity lies power. To choose the milk that heals rather than harms is to say yes to the possibility of more days lived with clarity, with strength, and with the gentle pride of being able to stand firmly on your own.